Here we are again, another Tim Talk. I'm so honored that you want to hear these. I'm so honored, and I thank you very much. And I hope they help our world become healthier, particularly our natural world. I've talked a little bit about, I want personal medicine, and I want to entitle this one, Personal Medicine, the Small Things. And I've talked a bit about personal medicine from the standpoint of, for example, I'm a nature photographer. And being a nature photographer, I am usually photographing majestic moments in nature and often in majestic places like national parks or scenic areas, things like that, like mountains and rivers and sacred old growth forests. And often I do that at a time when the weather is profoundly beautiful, like massive, gorgeous clouds, rainbows, beautiful. We call it the magic hours, is the first light in the morning, the first hour of light, and then the first hour of the last light in the end of the day. We call those the magic hours. There's a couple hours in each point. When the light is low on the horizon and it filters and the true colors come out in nature and it's magnificent. All of those moments are what I would call sacred moments. They're moments when nature is shining its grandest light on us, showing us its best. Do you ever think about in your life when you're showing the world your best? Your best? It's like that. Shining our light. When we shine our light on the world around us, when nature shines her light on us. Those are profound, what I would call medicine moments. And each one of those moments, I soak them up and they live within my being. And that's called my personal medicine. Some people would say it's your personality, but it's even more than that. And while I can't necessarily recall every incredible sunset or sunrise that I took a photograph of 10, 20, 30, 40 years ago, all of those rest within me, and they make me the man that I am today. They bring out my best. They bring out my best nature. They make me a good person. I truly believe this. But one thing we forget in gathering this personal medicine, and you don't have to be a photographer, by the way. You can just look and enjoy and soak up the beauty. You don't have to be doing anything. And in fact, often I'll drop my camera and just take time to do that. So I'm not just focused on the mechanical side of things. I'll just soak it up. Sometimes I won't even take my camera out. But my camera's become so personal to me, I don't feel like it really distracts. It's like a good friend. But if you know if you understand what I mean, it's just soaking the moment up. Full body soaking, like, whoa, just let it in. Let it in. And that lives within you, your medicine, and makes you an incredible person. I often think about the people who don't do that. They stop their car at a viewpoint, they get out real quick, take a quick snapshot, and get back in the car and drive off. I remember years ago I was with a friend in Kauai. We were up on this incredible viewpoint looking over the Nepali coast. I mean, what a place that is. You talk about food for the soul. Absolutely. Maybe one of the most beautiful views I've ever seen on the planet. That's quite a statement because I've seen a lot of them. We're up there watching the sunset, me and a friend, and a guy pulls up in his car and he'd just gotten married. His wife didn't want to get out of the car and he comes up to take pictures and see the view and he's enjoying it. And the whole time he's up there, she's yelling at him to get back in the car. She's bored. I thought to myself, oh man, that marriage may not make it. And he was so troubled. He wanted to stay. He finally left. And I felt kind of sad for the guy, you know, and maybe sad for her too, that nobody ever took the time to introduce her to the magic of powerful medicine moments in nature. Anyway, moving on. The small medicine moments are what we tend to forget. And this is what they are. This is what they are. It's like you could go out into a meadow and see the beauty of the whole meadow and the view off in the distance of the mountains. Ho to that. It's incredible. But get down on your belly and look at those flowers and those grasses and the detail. Get down on your belly and crawl around and look at the insects crawling around the plants in there. Look at the shapes and the various colors. Use all your full body, smell and feel, through touch, and observe with all different layers of your eyes and the ability that your eyes have to see. When you're looking into a forest, don't just look at the whole forest or this overall scene of the forest, but look at the details of the trees, the bark, the shape of the barks. How does the bark speak to you? How does it look when the tree hits the ground and the roots extend out and some are above? Look at that. When you're looking at a creek or a river, look at the whole creek and then look at the edges. Look at the detail of the rocks and the water spinning around the rocks, creating all kinds of concentric rings and shapes and bubbles and gurgles. Look at the plants that grow out and the details. Again, study the flowers. When you're looking at a bird, don't just look at the whole bird. Look at the habitat and how the bird lives. Look, fine focus the details. Does the bird have red wings? Does he have a red tail? Does he have a blue head? Look at the blue in the deepest way you can and soak it up. Look at the red in the deepest way you can and soak it up. Look at the shape of the bird. What does it eat? Look at the insects that it eats. When you're looking at cliffs and rocks or mountains, look at the whole one, but then go into the detail. Look into the shadows, the shapes of the cliffs, how steep they are, the plants that are on them. And onward and onward. It's the small world, the detail world, that often we forget, that has so many secrets to tell us. So many secrets to tell us. It's a wide open door of endless beauty and connection. So you can go back and forth from the big world, the big stunning views, and then let your eyes and all your senses take you onto the floor of the earth, onto the rocks of the earth, onto the trees and the plants of the earth, onto the waterways of the earth, in the fine detail. And then you can go back and, when I say this, I get chills. That's one way Spirit tells me I'm saying something really important. So take it in. Take it in. Ooh, man. Chills. The fine detail of this incredible world that we live in, this natural world. And you can also, just a side note, take this into the world of our modern world. You can look at buildings this way, and architecture and old structures, and you can look at people and how they dress and how their hair is and what the color of their eyes and how their hands look. You can take this skill of looking large and close out to all parts of the world, and it makes everything in life better. And if you come across things that don't look well or disturb you, like clear cuts or damage, that's another Tim Talk, which we'll get into. But that can't be ignored. That has to be honored too. And that is something that can motivate you to do something good for our planet. Ho.